wants. In this activity, you're going to get really clear on what feelings you want to create during this program and beyond. In this activity, we're going to have a look at 3 different types of wants that you have the ability to create right now, and you're going to get really clear on which ones you're going to create as your project starting now. So there's 3 types of wants. There's inherent wants, there's genie wants, and there's awesome wants. So the instructions on this are to go through and brainstorm what you want to create for your emotional life. Now, in inherent wants, there is, what is it that you want to feel more than anything else in the world? What is it that you fantasize about having? And maybe it's even been too big to mention to anyone else before, maybe even to yourself. And let's take it a step further. What would be even more amazing than experiencing that? And remember, you need to frame this in the positive. You need to make it moving towards a feeling, not away from a feeling. So, say if you're not going to write down, I don't want to feel anxious anymore. That's a moving away. You want to have something that's moving towards. So you might want to write down, I want to feel absolute peace of mind. I want to feel happy. In fact, take it a step further, something that's just been too big to mention. I want to feel absolute happiness. And even beyond that, I want to feel total joy and love. And what would be even more amazing than that, feeling total joy and love? I don't know, write it down. It can be anything. But make this about your emotional landscape. What is your inherent want for your emotional landscape? And when you've done the inherent wants, move on to genie wants. Just brainstorm it, write it down. Take 5 minutes to write down your inherent wants, or however long it takes. And then your genie wants. Okay, so let's say you're walking along the beach. I'm thinking Larry Hagman, I Dream of Jeannie, and you find a genie bottle, and you open it up, and out pops a genie, and she says to you, what would you like me to make you feel more than anything? If I could make you feel anything that you wanted to feel, what would you ask me for? So don't limit it to one. Look for as many positive emotional states that you want to feel. List them all down. Do a brain dump. Don't overthink it. Just do a brain dump. You can come back to it later. So I want to feel calm, happiness, joy, excitement, laughter, motivation, inspiration, a sense of cheekiness or playfulness, a sense of playfulness. I want to feel uncompromising confidence, a sense of trust. Just absolutely dump it down. Write down what you want to feel. We'll come back to it later. And then thirdly, it's awesome wants. Sometimes we don't like to think about those big emotional goals, as we sometimes kind of get scared that we might not be able to achieve them. And we don't want to be left with a sense of failure. I know that this was certainly the case for me. Or you might not know how to make that awesome want happen. So, better not. Let's just not talk about it instead. Well, let's talk about it. And let's write it down, because we know from the video that you just watched that talking about it and writing it down only increases your success. It encourages your success. So if you were to think about creating a set, or maybe just one, it's up to you, but if you were to think about creating some emotional states, what would be absolutely amazing to have on there? What would you love to feel more of? What feeling, when you think about it, brings this huge, awesome smile to your face and is something that you really want to create? Write it down, brainstorm it. So awesome once. A feeling of excitement, not excitement, excitement, a feeling of excitement that makes me jump out of bed in the morning. Taking huge pleasure in mucking around with the kids. I'm just thinking about what I used to really want to feel. Being able to talk to anyone, anywhere, regardless of who they are. To talk in front of 1,000 people. You know, think big. What would, if you have social anxiety, think about, oh my God, to, get up and have the confidence to debate, or to get up and have the confidence to sing in front of a whole bunch of people. Just whatever it is, write it down. Just do a brain dump and write it down. And once you've done that, what I want you to do is I want you to go through each column, and for each feeling, emotional state, or mood you've listed, I want you to ask the following question. So taking all these things from up here, where my cursor is, going down to the next page, ask the question, whether or not I believe I can actually create this. Do I really want it? So whether or not I believe I can actually create this, because sure, there's going to be a part of you that says, no, I want that, but I can't actually create it. Whether or not I believe I can actually create this, do I really want it? Go through the 3 different columns. If the answer is yes, then write it down in that first column. Once you've placed your emotional states in this first column, there's 2 more questions I want you to ask for each listed emotion or feeling. The first is, so you've got your list here of the things from your first page in this column. Then for each of those things listed, for each of those mental or emotional states or feelings listed, ask the question, am I prepared to make part of my life about actively creating this feeling? And do I want to invest my time and energy into making this happen? If you answer yes for one and no for the other question, it stays in that column. If you answer yes, I'm prepared to make part of my life about actively creating this, and yes, I want to invest my time and energy into making this happen, then put it in the it's happening list. So say you have joy. Am I prepared to make joy am I prepared to make part of my life about actively creating joy? Yes. Do I want to invest my time and energy into making joy happen? Yes. Then put it in the it's happening pile. Now, review your it's happening column. This all the emotional states that you've listed is what your brain and mind have committed to creating. Know that from now on, with time and energy, and I'm not talking about hard slog energy like, oh God, you're pushing a rock up a hill kind of energy. I'm talking more about the immaterial or the non-physical energy. So with time and energy and focus, this is what you are creating and what will come to the forefront of your life. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to know that this is what you are creating from here on in. Look at those words. Look at those mental and emotional states and look at what you're creating now. This is your project. This is your creation project. Print it off. Put it somewhere visible and feel confident that this is what you are now bringing into your life. I hope you've enjoyed that exercise. Take as much time as you need to and put it into the Facebook group. What it is that you are now creating. I can't wait to see what you've written and I can't wait to respond. So put it into the Facebook group now and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the next lesson. Ciao for now.